Hello and welcome to Richie's Diesel Performance. What we have for you today is the procedure on how to replace front seal for 01 to 2016 Duramaxes, lb7s, LOYs, LBZs, LMMs, and of course this LML. The procedure is much the same, varies only by body style, battery cable location, and of course the stack is a little more difficult on the newer ones to get to, but only specialty tools required would be the seal installation tool. It is definitely needed because it's a two-part seal, as I will show you soon, and you cannot install it properly without that tool. You can get it from Merchant Automotive, you can get it from your Snap-on dealer. It's made by Kentmore, but it is definitely required. Let's get started on this and give you an idea of how it's done. So here we have a 2013 LML Duramax to GMC Sierra 2500 HD. I have removed everything up to the point where the seal has been taken out. This is what the balancer looks like. It can be removed with a 36 millimeter 12-point socket. It is not pressed on. It simply slides on with a snug fit. You don't need any pullers to take it off, and you shouldn't need any pullers, so don't use one. It comes off by hand. This is the bolt and the large washer that holds it on. It's a 36 millimeter 12-point, and that threads right into the nose of the crankshaft there. You're going to need to remove all of the items up to that point to get to it in order to do it properly. I'm sure someone can do it without taking that off, and you can reach down and get in there, but I prefer to do it this way to make sure the seal is installed properly. Depending on your mileage, you might want to get hold of a water pump because this is the right time to do it. It is easily accessible as well. As you can see, I removed the idler pulley with its mount, the housing behind it. This is the camshaft sensor that needs to be disconnected, of course. Coolant needs to be drained. The crossover support needs to be removed. And then you can gain your access. The seal is the seal here. It is a two-piece seal, which means that it floats in between. It moves independently of each other. You can see it has two lips to it, the inner lip and the outer lip. This is a sleeve that goes on the crankshaft. This housing mounts inside of the front cover. This is the part number from National. The GM part number obviously varies, but it's the same seal. There's no difference between the two. They're just as reliable. So when you get started, what you're going to do is you're going to drill with a what I use is a self-tapping screw here, this Phillips, and you want to drill it into this lip right here, just above the dust seal, which is this little fabric membrane here. There's little to no chance of hitting the backside. I don't know if you can see that there, but there's the screw protruding through the back, because inside you have this steel sleeve. I've gone ahead and loosened this with a chisel, and here it goes spinning independently. But when you put the screw through here, through the front, it'll bottom out in the back over here. That happened over there somewhere. But it's almost impossible for you to damage the crankshaft unless you really start pushing the screw through. But once you get it in there enough to catch a thread or two, then you can get your pliers on there, and you can use a bar and pry it off, or use a vice grip and pop it off. But it comes out relatively simply. Just give it a tug. You put your pliers on like this, your bar across it, and just give it a tug. It'll come right out. Similar to that. You want to put your chisel in there. Let me show you the chisel. You want to put your chisel in here. This is what the lips looks like before it's been damaged, obviously, from removal. But there's a small lip there, and you want to catch your chisel in there just like that. And you want to push up on it. Don't push down, because it'll gouge the crankshaft and possibly create a unrepairable damage to the nose of the crankshaft. This is, again, it's machined steel, so it's not going to damage easily, but you want to make sure you keep the chisel at it, which is parallel to the crankshaft nose. That way this inner race pops up that way. And once you get to the back of it, it'll split, and then it'll become movable like that. And you can yank it out with little difficulty after that. This also floats, by the way. That's not a problem. I can't get it out holding the camera, but that's generally how that comes out. That's going to pop out. And then you'll see the backside, the oil pump drive gear is back there, the oil pump is back there, and you're just going to reverse the procedure after that. So the installation tool is this piece here. So this threads into the crankshaft. It is indexed by that little keyway. This is going to thread in that way. Of course, the seal is going to be on the back side of that. This threads in, and then you're going to run it down with this nut like that. So this is out here with the seal, and then it's going to push it on. Why is this needed? Because obviously being a two-piece seal, you can't just push on the outside because the inside is going to fall free of it and it'll bend. But this also installs to a very specific depth. And you don't want it riding on the backside there because the gear will end up cutting through the back of the seal. This will only install it so far where it bottoms out because it cannot go any further than this. So this little protrusion you see right here is what's going to dictate how far that seal is going to be installed to the front cover. Once you get that on there, you're going to reverse everything from there forward. This holds the crankshaft. Of course, you can get somebody with a screwdriver or a pry bar to hold it as you install the damper and torque this bolt back on again. I don't know what the torque is off the top of my head. However, I believe it's torque to yield, which means you put it on to a specific torque, and then you're going to torque it just a little bit further, measuring by its angularity, which is how far the torque wrench is going to go beyond the torque that it's told to do so. After that, you reverse everything else. You don't need to drain the oil to do this. You do need to drain the coolant, obviously. And that's pretty much it. This takes, it's a little bit of work. I would give yourself about 2 days to do so. If you've never done it, maybe a little bit more. And that's pretty much it. Thank you for watching. So long.